Okay, so once again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. This is a fifth roundtable, which is health insurance topic, and we would like to welcome all of the team members joining us now. The conversation will be recorded, and this will go to the white paper team. We have already conducted 4 other roundtables, and the white paper team will actually translate this conversation together with the conference which we had on 7th, and then we will come up with an action plan for the industry. So that white paper will reach to more than 1,000 healthcare and related technology companies in Pakistan and globally as well, whoever is relevant. And then we will also bring that white paper to what we call policy makers, universities, and all the relevant institutes. So uh, thank you for your valuable contribution. I think that will go long way for the other people. Now, before I put in the first question, I would like request quickly to introduce everybody for a quick 10-15 seconds so that we know each other very well before we jump into the conversation. So we can start with the person who joined first. Fahad, we can start with you. Quick intro.
Hello everyone, this is Fahad Arshad. I am managing sales operations for Ilaj in Karachi. And Ilaj, as you know, is a telehealth service provider, is a subsidiary of Fazuldin Pharma. Glad to be here with you guys and looking forward to learning more.
Okay, so we can go with Athar Shamim then.
Hello everyone, this is Athar Shamim. I'm basically working in a capacity of zonal manager and corporate services at Ufone, a PTCL group company.
Thank you so much and welcome on
Thank you.
board. Let's go to Shayan.
Hello everyone. My name is Shayan and I work at EFU Life. EFU is the largest insurance group in Pakistan, and in the capacity of senior manager, I basically lead the inclusive insurance section where we provide mass market insurance solution to the market.
Thank you so much. Dr. Tazeen.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm a clinician, but I've been working in the digital health digitization space for the last 15 years. It's nice to be here. And if I can give some inputs from my experience of working in this space, I'm happy to speak to all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tazeen. Dr. Dr. Madiya, for the recording session, I would request to introduce quickly.
Yes, my name is Dr. Madiya. I'm again a clinician and I have 12 years working experience in the health insurance industry. And I work for 7 Solutions and we are working in the digital health space now.
Thank you so much. And Muhammad Khurram, who has also just joined. Can you quickly introduce yourself? Muhammad Khurram, you're on mute, Khurram. Okay, Muhammad Khurram, sorry, he's saying something, sorry.
I think he sent a message, Ali.
Or
He's facing some issues with this.
Yeah, so we will wait for your intro. Meanwhile, we'll move forward. And we have Dr. Maida as well. Dr. Maida, quickly, for the sake of recording this video for the white paper people, can you quickly introduce, please?
Hi, sure, Ali. Thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Maida Afan. I am the marketing director of Seven Social, but my core expertise is in healthcare marketing. Very quickly, I know this is an insurance session and you're in the middle of your session. Sorry for joining late. Thank you, Ali.
No problem. So once again, thanks everybody. And I think we're good to start with the first question. In Pakistan, so this conversation is specifically for Pakistan. We had the conversation last time as well with the micro insurance companies. Now I want to have the first question with Shayan. Shayan, EFU Life and similar to EFU Life, like IGI Life and Pakat, this is one category. Then we go to the telemedicine like Bina and the companies who are providing tele insurance with Jazz and the other companies. Then we have micro insurance bank, micro financing bank like Mobilink Bank, Microfinance Bank. Are they competitor or collaborators? How do you see what they are?
I think as if like we think that everyone in this market is working in a very collaborative session, yani ke the market is just too big for anyone to consume. So everyone has to pitch in, and there's a huge wide market open for protection, for protecting people, and there are a lot of ecosystems over here that we can integrate. So we have banks, we have microfinance banks, we have telcos, we have the payment schemes, such as PayPark, and then we have a lot of insurtechs and startups, and with the telehealth ecosystems also, and then there are startups also, in which we can have an integrated embedded solution, which is the future of insurance, which we're seeing now, in which uh, protection can be offered to customers based on their needs. And this is such a huge market that everybody over here is can work in a very collaborative, can see it as a collaborative opportunity and not as competition.
So okay, so you feel like, and are we working in a collaborative way? Are we working in more of competitive way? What is the on-ground reality?
I think everybody right now is working on a collaborative approach, and that is something that we are seeing in the market. So, for example, over here also that we're working with Ilaj and seeing a lot of opportunities, and we are tapping into it right now. So we have micro insure and other telehealth opportunities also. So I think the momentum is set right now, with the mindset when it comes to how they're seeing the market. We just are everyone right now is working on scaling this opportunity, and they're taking it to the next level.
Okay, so Dr. Tazeen, with your intensive experience, how do you think that the micro insurance, the way Bina is working, the way other telemedicines are working, how we can extend the reach to rural areas where people have no idea about insurance and they feel like it is not for us?
Yeah, thank you, Ali. I guess again, we just have to educate and aware and start a conversation. I think insurance is one thing that we as a society as well, we don't really want to spend a lot on health. And especially when you're young and when you think, oh, I'll spend the money when I get sick. So nobody wants to spend money or pay something towards insurance uh, when they're well and healthy. The other thing, Ali, which might be an issue when you're talking about micro insurance or any form of insurance packages in the rural areas, they don't even have access to quality care. So the first question they're going to ask is, okay, I'll get the insurance package. Where will I use it? And I guess in the different roundtables that we've discussed, it's so important, and Athar Shamim is here, I think he's from the telecommunication. It's so important to leverage the telecommunication network we have right now in Pakistan and use more and more of that to give virtual care. हमने बहुत दफा बात की थी, मैंने डिजिटल हेल्थ समिट में भी बात की थी कि जब इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग हर किसी के पास अगर व्हाट्सएप और टिकटॉक है इस वक्त, तो वो डॉक्टर से क्यों नहीं बात कर सकता? फॉर एवरीबडी टू हैव अ चेंज इन माइंडसेट्स, द फर्स्ट थिंग वी हैव टू डू इज at least give them access to a doctor. Then we can talk about insurance. That's it. You can see this doctor whenever you get sick. If you pay this little amount every month towards your savings, then if you get sick, you can use that money. But for people who don't have access to care, and for people who probably when they get really sick, right, really, really sick, Ali, working in the government hospitals in Pakistan, हमारे पास तब मरीज आते थे जब और कोई चारा नहीं होता था, ठीक है, अपनी सारी जमा पूंजी लेके, वो तो वो पूरा एक माइंडसेट शिफ्ट है, that we don't even see a doctor every month. So why do we? So I think access to care has to be there. और उसके basis पे EFU Life or insurance companies can then devise these packages which are affordable, and the people can, we can start a conversation that this is how it should be done.
Very rightly said. Like, see, the insurance, the micro insurance reach can be extended through virtual only, because that's the easiest path. That's easiest part. Otherwise, it's definitely a tough call.
Because
And
आपके पास एक वही बात है जो बार बार मैं कहती हूँ, आपके पास एक मरीज, you've got one doctor for 20,000 patients.
yeah,
आप शहरों से उठा के डॉक्टर अगर रूरल एरियाज में ले जाएं तो शहरों में क्या होगा? So आपका brain drain तो है. So what digital health is doing is filling the gap.
yeah. So you're right, and I would definitely, for the before I go to the next person, I would like to mention the output from the our previous roundtable. So one of the idea which we are bringing on the board, that is a model village kind of thing. I think what we are planning together with the telemedicine, micro insurance, telco, and technology like platform like Huawei. So we are working together. We will start working together. The idea came up in the round table, and we're bringing it to white paper. So ideal model is like we have one village. Any village will choose where the telco provide end-to-end technology solution. Then the telehealth, they provide the training how to use that on mobile, and then doctors availability, insurance comes in, and this like how to use the insurance and how to deposit the money for that. And then as a model village, their 100% population moved to telehealth, and they're using consultancy, insurance, technology, everything, and that model can be presented to replicate. I think that's the ideal way.
And the pharmaceutical, Ali.
And the pharmaceutical.
And the pharmaceutical. बीमार होंगे तो दवाई चाहिए होगी.
Yeah. And we need to work with the doctors. Even yesterday, my daughter was not well, so I had one of I intentionally tried to use the one of the telemedicine because I like it. So, but the doctor was, trust me, doctor, I was not able to see the doctor. So one area telemedicine should see, like I think there was some darkness, and the hair is like जिस तरह हम क्लास में सुबह सुबह उठ के, I'm sorry, मतलब
नहीं अली, again देखिए मैं आपको अक्सर कहती हूँ कि I worked in Singapore and NHS and I work in the US. एक दिन का काम नहीं होता, 10 साल लगे उन्हें अब आने में. अभी तक I train doctors in the NHS of how to take a teleconsultation. It doesn't come naturally. That's why I'm advocating now कि virtual care should be taught in med schools, जो मैंने आपसे बात की थी कि आप पढ़ाना शुरू करें. This should be now part of our life. बड़ा आसान है सामने से बात करना. अब कोविड ने हमें सिखा दिया कि इस तरह भी बात कर सकते हैं जिस तरह हम अभी कर रहे हैं, but it's a skill.
Yeah.
Seeing a patient online is a learned skill, जो कि आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आती है.
So we are working on that, guys. I think whoever and we will get in touch, especially EFU Life. We would invite them and the other companies as well. So volunteers, you can volunteer for that. So now I bring the same question to Athar. Athar, how telcos can help to extend the insurance reach to the masses? What is your thought about it?
I believe telcos can play a very vital role. If you see कि आप चाहे villages हो, चाहे urban areas हो, rural areas हो, everywhere there is a mobile phone. और with the help of it, you can not only expand सिर्फ insurance तो एक है, but it's a product. और insurance के साथ साथ obviously जो healthcare है वो सारा आपका आगे digitize जो होना है वो सारा obviously through a carrier होना है. और वो carrier I think mobile services platform, mobile applications और आपको जो carrier है वो मोबाइल सर्विस से अच्छा कोई और प्रोवाइड नहीं कर सकता. और वो एक ऑब्वियसली एक रोल भी प्ले कर रहा है. वी हैव सीन के सर्टेन एप्लीकेशंस लाइक सेहत कहानी और दूसरी कुछ एप्स ऑलरेडी आ गई हैं डिजिटली जो सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रही हैं. बट आई थिंक कि हमको अभी हाँ जी एग्जैक्टली हमको आई थिंक कि इस तरफ भी आना है कि हमको एक यूनिक एमआर नंबर की तरफ आना है कि वन पेशेंट वन आईडी का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, और वी हैव टू मूव विद दैट. और व्हाट आई बिलीव के मोबाइल कैरियर्स कैन प्रोवाइड अ लॉट ऑफ इसको बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्ट भी कर सकते हैं. और आई थिंक इट हैज़ ऑलरेडी बीन स्टार्टेड. मोबाइल इस वक्त जितने भी कैरियर्स हैं ज़्यादातर हैव स्टार्टेड टू प्रोवाइड माइक्रो इंश्योरेंस. उन्होंने कोलैबोरेट कर लिया है जो भी इस वक्त हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोवाइडर हैं कि जी मोबाइल बैलेंस से यू कैन सब्सक्राइब टू अ माइक्रो इंश्योरेंस. और आई थिंक इसके अंदर गवर्नमेंट का भी रोल बनता है. ऑब्वियसली हमारे यहाँ देखें तो इतनी अच्छी हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज़ आर नॉट प्रोवाइडेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट. तो जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर हैं पर्टिकुलरली मोबाइल कंपनीज हो गई या जो इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज हैं जो माइक्रो इंश्योरेंस प्रोवाइड कर रही हैं, they all can actually collaborate to offer such kind of innovative offers. और हमारे यहाँ जो इस वक्त बड़ी एक कमी है मेडिकल स्टाफ की, तो वो हम डिजिटली आई थिंक इसको बड़ा ज़्यादा कोप अप कर सकते हैं अगर इफ़ वी ऑल कैन कोलैबोरेट और वर्क अकॉर्डिंगली, एक विजन की तरफ हम काम करें, डिजिटलाइज को लेके इसको लेके जाएं हम इस कॉन्सेप्ट की तरफ.
Great. So, Dr. Madiya, with your global experience, please advise us by global learning how to extend the micro insurance to maximum level by capitalizing on telemedicine, on these telcos and the other platforms. How is the modern world doing this?
Okay, so I will be a very good example because since I've seen the health insurance company grow in the UAE, 12 years back, there were hardly 10% population who was insured under the health insurance policies. Today, each and every resident of the UAE is insured and have a basic, at least have a basic insurance policy. So first and foremost, I think here the government plays a vital role. If the government decides that the healthcare insurance should reach out to masses, it's very important to get them on board. Without the support of the government, I think we would not be able to reach. So this is what happened exactly here. But as you just said and mentioned, that it should be a collaborative effort from the private sector industry, as EFU being one of the major stakeholders. Similarly, we would have other partners as well who work in the same space. So the government has to basically collaborate and bring everybody on board. And then there would be components, as Athar just rightly mentioned, that mobile or the mobile is the main gadget as of currently, which each and every person use, whether it's the urban population or the rural population. So once everybody gets on board and will try to give their inputs, therefore we would come up with, as you were just rightly mentioned, a global village, and we would be able to rightly reach out to the masses. And the end user will basically realize the importance of possessing a health insurance product. Further drilling down, we would certainly can incorporate the telehealth solutions that, let's see, if you buy this product, you will automatically be accessing the telehealth and you would directly access a doctor, and just paying a small. Then we can have tiers in that. We can have the advanced health insurance products, and we can have the very basic health insurance product, which comes at a very affordable price. That is what exactly happens, that you make the basic treatments, like as in, God forbid, any emergency treatments, and the basic diseases such as, URTIs, the URTIs and upper respiratory tract infections. These are the most common diseases associated with the basic medication. Then you can build upon it and provide more modern products, giving dental coverages and everything. I think this model should be endorsed as of currently, because this is high time. We are already behind the rest of the world when it comes to the healthcare insurance industry. We are lacking far behind all the other Asian countries, as I could rightly say so at this point in time. Our neighbors are already excelled in this field. So I think getting the government and all the private sector and all the other stakeholders on board and going on with the collaborative effort is the first and the foremost step. And then we should reach out to the masses.
And one more thing, Ali, that Sehat card, I think we've just launched, right? The government. I think that's a great initiative. Isi tarah we can have such initiative in insurance as well, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely that's another question which I'll definitely take it forward. So Fahad, how do you think the telemedicine can be a carrier, and it can work hand in hand, bringing insurance the way Dr. Madiya also mentioned, and then talking about Sehat card as well. How they can integrate together with tele health for the masses?
Yeah, I mean, before I answer the question, I really want to thank you, Ali, and for arranging this roundtable, and thank you for everyone's for their input. I think definitely we have to think in a collaborative manner because this is a very new niche here in Pakistan, and we need to do all of our effort to spread this word. I think what telemedicine can do here and help insurance companies or micro insurance is that their services basically focuses on you can say hospitalizations or delivery or worst case scenarios. And what telemedicine does is like it can actually work with the patients or the users and reducing that risk. If somebody has a heart problem or asthma or things like that, so with telehealth they can actually have regular consultations or appointments with the doctor, very easily accessible, so that they can reduce the risk. I mean, couple of weeks ago, I was meeting with Shayan, and they were EFU's main goal is to increase the life, increase the spread of meeting new people and spreading this insurance to them. And what telehealth can do is like couple up with it and to ensure the people that are actually with their contract in their domain can actually have that accessible consultation with the doctor on their phone, so that if and whenever they need any help, they can reach out to them. And if there's a worst case scenario, they can definitely use the insurance services.
Shayan, would you like to add in what Fahad said, like the conversation? Can you take it to the next step? You're on mute.
Well, I think I would agree with Fahad, Dr. Madiya, Dr. Tazeen, and everyone who have said that it's a collaborative approach. We definitely need the government. Yes, Sehat Card is an excellent initiative in that regard. And actually, it was very nice to see that the Prime Minister himself was very much focused on the micro insurance initiative, and they have seen a lot of people actually using that insurance and giving out the benefit. And even if from the business perspective, EF Life may not be the direct beneficiary of such an initiative, but we would still like to help assist and be a part of that process, so that we can actually extend the number of lives insurance penetration in Pakistan for that regard. And I think that right now they're what they are facing is the sort of teething issues with regards to billing and payment, and we have seen a lot of teething issues. I would just put it that way, but that is also part of the process. As Dr. Aziz said, that it takes like a decade to have that process completed seamlessly, streamlined. And I think we are on that process. We are on that pathway. We just have to accelerate the process, have to accelerate the collaboration, and we will just get there eventually.
Dr. Maida, you know that in Card and insurance companies, they're working together in Pakistan. What do you think that they can collaborate? Because somehow I talked to some of the companies in insurance, they said like it's a competition, and some of the companies said that it's basically voicing up our idea to bring the insurance to masses. So and again there's a perception about insurance companies, like when you go for the hospitalization, then you get the insurance. So in OPD, we normally, even if it's in corporates, yes, we do have insurances like for OPD as well. But as a person, we do not have, like most of the people have the, like when admitted to hospital, the room charges and things like that. How do you think that in Card and these people are not competitor, first of all, and second part is OPD opportunities, how that can be leveraged?
Ali, Maida isn't not on the call right now. Usha Thori, she came just for a second, and maybe she's facing difficulty with her internet.
Oh yeah, oh sorry. Okay, so
she isn't there.
Yeah, okay. So because I think she joined and then
she just joined for a minute. Yeah, I think she's having issues. Yeah.
Okay, so I can put this question in two parts. One part to Dr. Tazeen, to you. and the second part I can give it to Dr. Madiya.
All right. Which part do you want me to take?
The first part, where you feel like collaborative, like it's a competitor or collaborator.
Okay, so
EFU and Safa.
I'll take that. Yeah. So the thing is, Ali, across the world, globally right now, I mean, we are living in a world of collaboration. I'm not seeing the word of competitor. It's been a while now. I don't know if it's the effect of COVID or we've just realized it's not a one-man's job. Healthcare is not a one-man's job. It just isn't. Even if when we work in the hospitals and when I was doing clinical training, I myself alone could not treat anybody. So I think overall, बहुत खुशाइंद बात है कि शायद COVID ने हमें push kiya, and now we understand it's not a one-man's job. So it's really nice that I see the word collaboration, augmentation much more than I saw pre-COVID. Now, even when I talk to people who might be my competitors, they always tell me, can we explore opportunities of collaboration? Maybe you can do something that I can't. So I'm talking to, so it is collaboration. Why? Because the world is moving at a very fast pace. None of us can be a master of all right now. So when you talk about technology, aaj kuch hai, parson kuch aur hoti hai. You know, I mean, ye ho gaya ki the technology is running faster than we can catch up. We, as in the clinicians, the policy makers, the governments, everybody. So I think it's a collaborative effort. और अगर stakeholders ये समझ जाए ना कि हम एक दूसरे के collaborators हैं और competitors नहीं हैं, तो जो message जाता है ना to the masses, that becomes, उन्हें नहीं फर्क पड़ता, बीमार आदमी को ये फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आप देंगे या शायान देगा या फहद या अथर देगा. In the end, बीमार आदमी को तकलीफ से वो चाहिए. They just want to get out of the pain that they're in. So the major aim of all of us here together is to alleviate the suffering. So in the end, you know, that's what matters to them. So clear messaging. And I think the other question where you said, I think everybody thinks that we're collaborators because insurance alone cannot do that. Insurance players cannot alone roll this out. Telemedicine cannot roll this out without technology. Telecom cannot give healthcare without somebody like insurance or clinicians. It can't be done. So it has to be collaborative. And the other thing is, I guess, कि हमें ना एक messaging बहुत करनी चाहिए, ठीक? And just quickly to the point of OPD, that we don't really see as a clinic जाने के लिए क्या insurance की जरूरत है, right? We'll get the insurance जब खुदा ना खास्ता कोई ऐसी बीमारी हो जाए जिसमें कोई अस्पताल में रहना पड़ जाए. So in that case, I think awareness और messaging का बहुत बड़ा हाथ है, जिसमें marketing आती है. दूसरी incentivize करें आप. To जो पहले आइडिया फ्लोट करें ना, जो एक चेंज ऑफ नैरेटिव है in a community, in a society where we don't believe in health insurance, you have to give incentive to the people to get on board. Once they get on board, then they will say, oh, this really helps. Then it's a word of mouth. Then you see this ripple effect that more and more people take it. But to get a few thousand on board, you need to incentivize. आपको incentives देने पड़ेंगे, जिसमें all of these people will have to sit together on a table and see हम लोगों को क्या incentive दे सकते हैं. What will they gain out of buying or coming to our platform? जिसमें telemedicine भी आएगा, insurance companies भी आएंगी, telecommunication companies भी आएंगी. ये तीनों मिलके कोई ऐसा device करें plan जिसमें patients को आप incentive दें ये services use करने की, so that they understand, oh, this really works, you know.
Yeah. So, and I think you already answered the second part as well, but I still want to take Dr. Madiya's input on that.
Sure.
The second part specifically, building on what Dr. Tazeen just said, like most of the patients, if they're not corporate, so they do not get the insurance for OPD. They still feel like, yaar, wo honi chahiye, hamari hospitalization. So what should we do? Like it should be part of the scope, or your telemedicine ke saath hi, I think that club up well with that. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so just to add on to the Sehat Insaf card, I would just like to say कि ये government का बहुत ही excellent initiative है, and some people have already realized कि what health insurance does to you. You can use it in a hospital. I think this basic concept was again lacking in the masses. Insurance within insurance as a word, they take it as, you know, in literal meaning कि नहीं, they associated it being कि नहीं भाई हराम है, हम नहीं ले सकते, you know, all that. But like for example, specifically life insurance में तो ये बहुत words use होता है कि नहीं, we won't take, you know, it's forbidden. So having said that, at least this Sehat Insaf card has brought a realization to the public that yes, there is something called as a benefit card which will cater your health. So moving on, government in any capacity is not worthy or is not capable of catering 100% of the masses. We have to understand that. जो सेहत इंसाफ कार्ड पे वो spend कर रहे हैं as of currently, this could be used, these resources or these funds could be used to basically come up with new hospitals, new healthcare setups in the rural areas where there is even a basic primary healthcare center is lacking as of currently. So we cannot just burden, we have to pull in. The government, the corporate sector has to pull in and has to contribute to bring it to the next level. For designing of the product, as you just rightly mentioned, कि लोगों को ये सिर्फ एहसास है कि हम एक हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस कार्ड को जब ही यूज कर सकते हैं जब हमें कोई खुदा ना करे हार्ट अटैक आ गया और so on and so forth, you know, in extreme worst situations. But this is not the case. We have to use the author at this point in time who will basically reach out to the masses through the mobile phones and tell them that, listen, it's not just the heart attack that it caters to you. It's even the very basic URTI, the upper respiratory tract infection, wherein you would not have to take your child to a health clinic. Rather, once you have this product, we will provide you the doctor on the telehealth app and you will have basic access and the medicines will reach out at your doorstep. Yeah. So this basic concept to get into the minds of the masses is very, very important. And digital technology has a major part to play. We have to take the burden off the government and the private sector has to pull in so that the government can concentrate these efforts into coming up with new facilities where the people don't have the very basic healthcare clinics or a simple pharmacy to get medicines from.
Great, thank you. Athar, you want to add something in that? You raised hand.
Yes, thank you. Basically, I was adding at the part of when Dr. Madiya was saying regarding the Sehat Insaf card. That is undoubtedly a very good initiative by the government. But I think what we could add to it that with the telecom operators, they can actually virtualize this card. Means obviously you can say that to reach out the masses, it would be a quite tough to hand over a physical card to a particular person. What could be done that at this point of time, this card could be virtualized. One can get this even on WhatsApp or some sort of registration could be digitized and some app type of process. Means if you could integrate an app or this type of thing, or you could get a confirmation as SMS. So if we could do these sort of initiative, it would further boost up the scalability of the process, scalability of the initiative that could be done. Further, the one thing at this point, we obviously as a collaborator, as a mobile operator, yeah, even as the health insurance provider, we all are working, but at this time of at this point of time we also need to educate the people as well that digital healthcare facilities do exist. Means अगर आप अब देखें तो पर्टिकुलरली जो हमारे लोग हैं वो अभी तक इससे इतना ज़्यादा यूज नहीं हुए कि जी डिजिटल हेल्थ केयर इज एग्जिस्ट और यू कैन यूज अ टेलीमेडिसिन फैसिलिटी, यू कैन कॉल अ डॉक्टर एट द ऐप. तो ये एक बेसिकली है कि व्हेन पीपल स्टार्ट टू यूज दिस थिंग, actually then it will boost up. इसने boost up ही तब होना है जब when people will go there, जब लोगों का थोड़ा सा एक focus की तरफ आएगा. Particularly mobile operators are playing their part, healthcare facilities are playing their part, doctors are playing their part. But जब तक हम उसको एक sort of एक regime नहीं चलाएंगे एक education की towards the people कि जी start using this is for your benefit, you don't have to visit a doctor in person, you can get the health facilities at your doorstep or via this video call or via this particular app. तो तब actually जो है ना इसके अंदर boost आएगा, then obviously investments will come और सारी चीजें उसके बाद ज़्यादा बेहतर होनी है when people will start to use this.
I think it's a very good idea. And when we talk about like a lot of learning from the COVID, and one of the idea to educate people is, I think, the IVR system, which through telcos government is using, like जो आप सब जब हम फोन अटेंड कर रहे होते हैं, उससे पहले हमें पूरा प्रोसेस बता रहे थे, जी आप बूस्टर डोज लगवाएं ये. So I think that's another medium जो कि telco के पास है, which government can really use it to send the
Yes.
message to the masses. So we have Dr. Bina. Dr. Bina, welcome on board. Kindly, first of all, quickly introduce, and then we are having a valuable conversation on 2 points. The first point is like how Insaf Card and insurance companies are not competitors; they're collaborators. Okay, and yeah, so Dr. Tazeen, we had a conversation view of the companies, and a lot of companies still believe the competitor. No offense to them, but I think we should openly discuss that, like why they feel as competitors. So I would ask this question to Dr. Bina, and then I'll ask the second part, Dr. Bina, that is about most of the people think the insurance as hospitalization when they are admitted to certain thing, not for OPD. So how telemedicine can help on that? Okay. Dr. Bina, should I
Right.
repeat
So
the question? I
yeah,
can repeat.
it's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry. I'm in the office right now, so there might be a lot of background noise. So, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Dr. Bina. I'm working as head of medical affairs, research, and pharmacovigilance at CCL. I've been working with Ali, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work for Health Tech Summit. We've been part of the previous roundtable discussions as well. I might not be able to catch everything because I joined a little late, but I guess my opinion on the whole subject of microinsurance would be offering at least some level of understanding, because जिस तरह से हमारी market operate कर रही है, it's absolutely out of pocket, and patients consider going to a healthcare provider as a burden most of the times, because वो कहते हैं यार एक दफा ठीक है दवाई लिखवा ली जाके, next time we don't want to do that, only because of the inconvenience and the additional costs as well. So maybe at this point in time we need to create awareness about the convenience and the whole concept of medical insurance in the first place. Yes, life insurance or Adam ji ne bada advertise kiya hai shuru se aur is tarah ki cheezein rahi hain, but at the mass level we need to create some level of awareness first and then offer solutions accordingly, which are simplistic. Obviously microinsurance is the best way forward, whether in collaboration with telecom or independent, or in collaboration with the telemedicine platform or independently. However, understanding सबसे पहले awareness और फिर उसके बाद उसके लिए accordingly एक appropriate solution जो कि लोगों के लिए उतना simple भी हो कि वो इसको इस्तेमाल कर सकें without considering that, oh, this is another burden that we have to bear going forward.
Okay. And second part, Dr. Bina, people's mindset, they feel like going to, when we get admitted to hospital, that's when we need insurance, not for the OPD, not for the general thing. Is it because less amount or something? What do you think? What is the main reason for that?
So people's perception is basically based on the current trends. ठीक है, अभी भी जितनी companies majority micro insurance provide करें, उसमें majority companies कहती हैं कि हम OPD cover नहीं देते, हम सिर्फ hospitalization cover देते हैं. So जो existing market practices होंगी, वही perception आपकी build करेंगी. So that's how it is that most of the people think that they'll be only able to get an insurance cover when they are sick enough to be admitted, or they're sick enough to get a hospital admission, or फिर accordingly test कराएं. So very expensive investigations like MRIs or contrast-based CT scans, even they are sometimes not covered under the insurance, although they are a very huge cost burden on the patients as well. So there are very few organizations जो कि OPD coverage भी दे रही हैं, and again उसमें element of malpractice and element of misuse बहुत ज़्यादा है. So उसकी वजह से obviously लोग OPD coverage या इस तरह की coverage देने से हिचकिचाते भी हैं. They're reluctant to do that as well. So I think that's the whole reason कि जो practice होगी वही आपकी perception बनाती है, उसके अलावा कुछ बाहर से कोई अलग से चीज नहीं होकर आएगी जिसकी वजह से होगा. Yes, people look forward to what NHS is doing and what the other countries are doing. They aspire to reach that point. Again, it's a long journey for us at least. हम अभी जहाँ पे खड़े हैं, it's going to take a long time and a lot of effort from all the stakeholders to reach to that point as well.
So I see when Dr. Bina was saying, so Shayan was nodding his head quite faster. So from EFU, so I think one point which I think is very important point which he has just highlighted, like OPD there is a lot of chances of malfunctioning. So that's the reason, वो हम करते नहीं है. आप बताएं जो EFU and the insurance industry, because at the end we really want to have those services for the people. How you guys are working as an industry to get rid of that challenge and still pass on to these services to the people?
So anti-selection is a major issue in health insurance part, and it has been. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to scale up, and so the risk with anti-selection can be minimized if you are scaled enough. So right now I am actively covering 2 million lives in the micro insurance area, right? So the priority of anti-selection is, yes, there, but the anti-selection with regards to the number of population, let's say for example, if like 2000 spreads over 2 million people, and therefore what we do is we reduce the overall actual cost for the health product and then thereby facilitating that.
Okay, so and do you think, Fahad, with integration with the telemedicine, that risk can be reduced actually? Because then there is definitely a consultation. So
Yes.
so the checkpoint is there, and same is the case with when it comes to pharmacies, and when it comes to lab tests as well. They can be added if the solutions are integrated. Fahad, being one of the telemedicine person, what do you think about it?
Yeah, actually, the point is that, when we consider telemedicine or telehealth, we think like, it's just instant doctor appointment through video. But there are other, areas where telemedicine can help as well. For example, if somebody had an accident and they just got discharged from the hospital, they can use telemedicine for routine checkups, for rehabilitation, for other means as well. Somebody who was given new medications or a change of medications, somebody who just had a lab test. They do not need to just go to the doctor and wait like an hour or so to just show him the report. They can just use that platform to show them the report and just understand whether they need to increase the dose, reduce it, or change medicine. So telemedicine is basically a way to enhance the doctor's reach to the patients, where it becomes easy for the patient to speak with the doctor one-on-one and gather their full attention. And it can actually work absolutely perfectly hand in hand with insurance, whether somebody is getting discharged from the hospital, even with the maternity. If somebody just got discharged from the hospital, and they can use telemedicine to speak with a pediatrician and even gynecologist on routine basis to do daily checkups. So it's definitely works together.
Okay, so we're ending to the last part of our conversation. It's a very valuable conversation, because telemedicine, insurance, I think these are the opportunities which need to be with the patient as soon as possible and to the maximum of the people. So, so I would like to reach to the last part, and that is the last point. Anybody want to raise last point about how to bring health insurance to the masses? I think that's the whole idea. The purpose of the white paper, the purpose of the topic was the same. So any last thought starting from Dr. Tazeen? What do you think about it?
So the last part really would be sort of just a, recap of what we've already discussed, that it is a collaborative effort. All stakeholders have to come together. And we need to incentivize with clear messaging that you can see a doctor, you can use insurance or card. आप शायद insurance को ना भी कहें. If we find that there is some preconceived notion with the word insurance in our culture and our society, let's call it something else. Like for example, sehat card, आप इसे कुछ और कह दीजिए. Insurance company can call it a benefit card or a life saving, anything. And we need to focus on primary care. Dr. Bina ने एक बहुत अच्छी बात की कि insurance companies OPD cover नहीं करती. अब ये बहुत बड़ा gap है. Because OPD cover करना चाहिए. आप after COVID इतना shift हुआ है कि before COVID, when I used to, the stats that I had, 70% of conditions did not need to, for 70% of conditions, a patient should not go to a tertiary care hospital. पोस्ट कोविड, जस्ट yesterday I was talking to another colleague, वो मुझे कह रहा था एक नई रिपोर्ट आई है जिसपे डॉक्टर्स कह रहे हैं कि कोविड में 90% ऑफ द डिजीजेस और बीमारियां टेलीमेडिसिन से हो सकती हैं, सिर्फ 10% को अस्पताल आना चाहिए, जिसमें फहद की बात है कि क्रॉनिक केयर मैनेजमेंट। तो आप सोचें, आप सिर्फ 10% के लिए इंश्योरेंस क्यों रख रहे हैं? आप 90% को केटर करें जो घर में बैठ के देख सकते हैं। सो ये एक बहुत बड़ा गैप है जिसमें सब लोगों को टेबल पे आना चाहिए और सोचना चाहिए कि हम ओपीडी को कैसे इंट्रोड्यूस कराएं, क्या इंसेंटिव्स दें इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स, डॉक्टर्स, टेलीमेडिसिन प्लेटफॉर्म के लोग आम बीमारियों के लिए घर से बैठ के इलाज करवाएं और उन अस्पतालों में ना जाएं जो ऑलरेडी इतने ओवरबर्डन्ड हैं। दिस इज वेयर एनएचएस कम्स इन। और डॉक्टर बीना ने जो बात की थी, इन लंदन आई कांट सी अ स्पेशलिस्ट। पता है हमारे यहाँ ये भी बड़ा कल्चर है, जरा सा बुखार हुआ आपने ईएनटी स्पेशलिस्ट के पास चले गए। नहीं, मुझे अगर ईएनटी स्पेशलिस्ट को देखना है मुझे 2 महीने वेट करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि मैं पहले जीपी को देखती हूँ। वो देखता है कि भाई वो एक ट्रियाज कर रहा है ना, वो मुझे देख रहा है कि क्या मुझे देखने की जरूरत है, क्या ईएनटी स्पेशलिस्ट को मुझे टाइम देना चाहिए। ये स्ट्रीमलाइन करने की बहुत जरूरत है। प्राइमरी केयर को आप, ओपीडी को आप लाएं इंश्योरेंस पे, एक्सेस बढ़ाएं टेलीमेडिसिन से और इंसेंटिवाइज करें पेशेंट्स को थ्रू टेलीकॉम और अदर अट्रैक्टिव पैकेजेस कि वो ये अवेल करें ये सर्विसेज।
And before I move forward, I think I would add into the future. The future is about AI. We were talking about prescriptive analysis, like we talk about as an example of breast cancer, like where 90+% is like you can actually detect. So it means, so the potential of going to surgical things, inshallah will be reduced, and the balance will move more towards the telemedicine because of the early detection of the things. So it means, yeah, so in future you will have like relatively more people towards the early detection and in OPD side, and I think that's the reason it should be covered properly.
Telemedicine or any digital health tool is shifting the narrative from a reactive approach to care to a proactive and preventive approach to care. Or digital therapeutics, जो एक बहुत, that's another discussion completely, is an amazing new development that a health tool, नया तो नहीं है, popular अब ज़्यादा हो रहा है, that can really change the way we take healthcare.
So moving to the last point to Shayan. Shayan, do you think like as part of one of the action in white paper, we should bring telemedicine and most of the insurance industry and companies together, like how to reach to the masses in OPD side? Should we have a particular debate with the respective stakeholders? And any last point you want to add?
First, I try to answer your question. I think yes, telemedicine. I think a lot of insurance companies are already embedding telemedicine into their products, but the challenge they are facing right now is with respect to the usage of the telemedicine. So they are offering telemedicines, but the usage rates are extremely low. So right now the insurance industry is engaged with the telemedicine industry to increase their usage rate. I think what we have talked about is to increase awareness and B, access to these services. And yes, it is a collaborative effort. And and from a insurance company perspective, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि why is it not a competition and why is collaboration? And it's because even if, let's say, for example, a customer is, if a person is enrolled into a Sehat card and he starts to believe in insurance, that will impact everything for the insurance companies from an insurance company, क्योंकि वो फिर जाके लाइफ की इंश्योरेंस लेगा, you know, वो फिर जाके अपनी गाड़ी है उसके बाद वो गाड़ी को इंश्योरेंस लेगा, वो अपनी बाइक है बाइक की इंश्योरेंस लेगा, and that opens up the evolution of the person with regards to insurance. And that is why even if that the insurance company may not be a direct beneficiary of a particular initiative, they will come up, they will sit down together and they will try to help the initiative of the insurance, because the insurance penetration in our country is extremely low. Having said that, ये जो collaborative effort है, that is done through ऑगमेंटेड प्रोडक्ट्स है। ऑगमेंटेड प्रोडक्ट्स की थोड़ी सी एक बहुत ही ब्रीफली डिस्कशन हुई, जिसके अंदर हम लोगों ने जो है वो अभी हम टेलीमेडिसिन की बात करें, प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर की बात करें। सो वो जो चीज़ें इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के जो माइक्रो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो उसके अंदर इनबिल्ट नहीं है, तो वो उससे ऑगमेंट होकर हम एक होलिस्टिक सोल्यूशन हम लोग देख सकते हैं और हम लोग प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। दैट इज अ वेरी सक्सेसफुल केस स्टडीज जो हम लोग देखते हैं पिंग के अंदर, जो चाइना के अंदर हम लोग देखते हैं, ये मॉडल बहुत एक्सट्रीमली सक्सेसफुल हुआ है। एंड देन वी हैव टू लुक इनटू द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सेक्टर एज वेल, because distribution with regards to insurance is extremely weak. So we have to sit down with everyone. Like we're currently what we are doing is we're sitting down with everyone. We're sitting with telcos, we're sitting with banks, microfinance bank, payment schemes and everything. And when we're trying to solve out the challenges, such as one of the challenges is of payments, right? Now that payments is being resolved by State Bank themselves through this RAST payment mechanism they're bringing in. And so we see that we are moving in the right direction, and this will take some time to have a universal kind of effect in the entire Pakistan. And we are trying to just with even with this session, we're just trying to understand and accelerate the process in our capacity.
Great, thank you. Fahad, any last point?
Yes, again, thank you so much, Ali, for arranging this session and the event. I think in order to spread the awareness, we need such events and roundtables. And Sharon talk about the usage. I think the usage can also be increased when we are going to the masses and the corporate world, telling them that telemedicine is not a nice to have feature rather than a must have feature. Similarly, we have to go to the public and tell them that this is another way they can talk to an authentic, accredited doctor and get their health taken care of. So it's all about spreading awareness. It's all about reaching out to the masses, and we can do it together, whether we belong to telemedicine, pharma, or we are subject matter expert, anything like that. The more we collaborate, the more we spread, the more we talk about it, the more it will help the masses, and inshallah will prosper.
Great, thank you. Athar, your last comments.
Thank you so much, Ali, for inviting me and all of us in this valuable session. It will greatly help us to understand the basically healthcare needs and what the direction. I believe direction has been set, and all the sort of stakeholders are moving in this direction. It is just a thing that we need to expedite, and as I earlier said, that the most important thing in my point of view is to educate the people to start using these digital initiatives of health that will actually accelerate the process and will actually bring this digital setup in the limelight. So that's the main thing what I believe it needs to be done right.
Thank you. So Dr. Madiya, your last comments.
Yes, thank you so much, Ali, to bring all of us together on board and then having a very good brainstorming session here. I think we have come up with very nice and very good and very valid suggestions from across the board or from all the experts. The final word which I would like to put forward as previously, that it all goes to the awareness. If we aware the people and we give them the right kind of information about the health product, what does it do to an individual in the healthcare capacity, I think we would be able to create a niche in the market. As we rightly discussed that the market is still very nascent and in the very initial stage of development. We need to go forward and get on to the next level, wherein without awareness, this involves for sure the digital medium, as we have all agreed upon, and the digital medium has to play its pivotal role in order to educate the masses. As much as we educate the masses, they will have orientation about the products, and they will be knowing that what benefits do they carry once they will possess this. And so this is the way forward, and I think all stakeholders agree that we collaboratively will move forward towards achieving that goal, which is very, very positive.
Great. So Dr. Bina, your last point before we conclude.
Right. So thank you so much, Ali. It was lovely to hear all of you. I think my summary would be just 2 words. I think number one is awareness, and the second is accessibility. And I think a broader reach to people who really deserve to have insurance to improve the quality of life as a holistic outcome that we are trying to achieve here is the improved quality of life. So I think that's all from my end. So awareness and accessibility, that's the key.
Great.
Thank
Yep, thank you so much. And just a quick highlights. So we talked a lot about awareness, and we talked a lot about government support in that, and everybody appreciated in Safeguard now how to extend that to masses and how to collaborate with the health insurance companies who are ready to support that. And then we talked about OPD reach that is not there. So we need to work together with telemedicine and microinsurance companies and insurance companies, that how that can be brought together. And we might arrange a session with the right stakeholders, that how to cover OPD considering all the challenges which Dr. Bina highlighted. More, we talked a lot about collaboration and accessibility. So I think these are the summarized points which surely would consider to be part of the white paper. With that, we will just conclude this, the last part of the roundtable, the last one. Thank you so much. We'll keep you posted. The next step is basically coming out the white paper, and we're working intensively on that. And we will send that across to you, and we will recognize your efforts. I think that's for the humanity, for the people, and for the industry as well. Very well done. And from AIM Consulting side and CCL Pharma side, because we both partners to have this conference, we would like to thank each one of you for your contribution. That thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you
Allah
all.
Hafiz.
Thank you,
Allah
Ali. Thank you.
Hafiz.
Thank you, everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.